When politicians say they're going to end rough sleeping, you might think it sounds simple, however it's much more complicated than that, and that is what Andy Burnham has proposed. First of all, rough sleeping and homelessness are not the same thing. Rough sleeping refers to things like sleeping in doorways, on benches, etc., whereas homelessness is a broader term. Homelessness includes people who are living in temporary accommodation, sofa surfing, hostels, refuges, or anyone who is at risk of losing their home. So whilst around 3,900 people are said to have been rough sleeping every night in England, charities estimate that around 350,000 people in the UK are homeless. So why has this problem become so much worse? Experts are warning it's not because of one singular reason, but a broad spectrum of reasons. They are saying it's due to factors like a shortage of affordable social housing, rising rent prices, people leaving prison or hospitals or care without having any sort of housing set up, domestic abuse, mental health, addiction, and just the wider cost of living crisis. Research for the government has concluded that homelessness is due to things like structural economic pressure and individual circumstances rather than by personal choice. Now Andy Burnham is the new Prime Minister. He wants to make rough sleeping one of his top priorities. He announced another £340 million funding for homeless services, says that the government will help create over 1,200 new homes and give support to over 3,000 people over the next 5 years. This plan actually builds on schemes that Burnham introduced whilst he was the Mayor of Manchester, including a bed a night, which provides emergency accommodation for people that need it, and Housing First, which gives people housing before tackling issues like addiction and mental health. But can it actually work? That is where opinions are split. Supporters have argued that Manchester's rough sleeping rate, despite going up again, has never gone higher than its 2017 peak. A lot of charities are really grateful that homelessness and rough sleeping is being made a priority again by the national government. However, critics do point out the fact that it has risen again and are saying that he is not strong enough in his policies to try and squash it altogether. Burnham has said that he believes that things like the housing crisis, etc., cannot be solved by being mayor, but can only be solved within the national government. So the real question isn't whether rough sleeping should end or not, because I think we can all agree that it absolutely should. The question is whether the government are able to build enough affordable homes, offer long-term services for people dealing with potential homelessness, and try and tackle the root cause of why people end up on the streets anyway. Because rough sleeping isn't just about making sure someone gets off the pavement for the night, it's making sure that they never end up back there.